Welcome to this edition of Formation Matters. Today I'd like to introduce Brother Tiberio. Brother Tiberio, could you tell us where you're from, what you're doing?
So I'm Brother Tiberio. This is my second year here in Humanities, and I am from Brazil. Wonderful country.
Wonderful country. I haven't had the chance to go there yet,
Not yet.
but eventually someday we'll see if it happens. I've always been very afraid of going to Brazil. I think it must be very challenging. But Brother Tiberio has enlightened me about so many great things. Well, I've known a lot of Brazilians over the years, and I've gotten along with most of them, I would say.
Good. Yeah, and Father Nicholas is trying to learn Portuguese. At least it's what he told me.
Yeah, that's kind of on pause. It's one of my open projects that I started, but have in progress so far. Okay, so for the Tiberio and for all of you, well, today we're talking still about conviction, and something that I think that's very important, where it's how do we form conviction, or how do we form the good habits that we want to be living? How much does that come from outside, and how much does that come from our interior? And here in the context of a seminary, obviously there's a lot of emphasis or a lot of presence, just because of the way things work, of an exterior discipline. But it's obviously much more important what we're kind of discovering and forming in ourselves, in our own hearts, and that's what's leading us to make good decisions and build up the good habits. So, Tiberio, first maybe you could just kind of share with us a little bit kind of your general impression about discipline. I mean, you personally strike me as a very disciplined person, somebody who likes to be in control of himself. But how would you kind of perceive some of the aspects of exterior discipline?
Exterior discipline. So first of all, for me, it's a great motivation when the environment works in a way that you can you feel comfortable doing something. Like here, the greatest example here is silence. If my brothers keep quiet in the moments that we are supposed to be more reflecting or praying, that will be way easier for me to keep this silence. So first of all, it helps me to live what I am supposed to live. And also, conviction in this exterior sense is for me is more about what do I want? What do I want? So if I want to achieve something, I'll put the means so that I can achieve it.
Right, and there I think you're kind of already touching on that element of how that exterior discipline really has to penetrate and make it into our interior, and it's something that we really have as our own, right? And I think that's something that's very good and very important. Now, when we're looking at different aspects of discipline, sometimes we can feel like it's a little bit of a challenge. How would you look at the challenge of discipline, or even just kind of in your own personal life, and you're very disciplined in a lot of your different activities by studying, and different work aspects, and it's just kind of a very ordered thing. If I ask Brother Tiberio to get something done, I know it's going to happen, which is very, very consoling thing, something that I like a lot, very useful for sure. But I think what's deeper there is the fact that you yourself are taking responsibility for your own actions.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So if I understood quite well the question, this discipline, when sometimes seems to be something imposed on you. For me, I like to think think about a tree. When a tree grows, the roots to go deep down in the soil, they need to dig. There is this effort. Then it happens, the growth. So it's more or less like see what helps me the most.
Okay, that's very good, and I think that's something that's important, because we all have moments in our lives or different aspects in our lives where we have to kind of fit in with somebody else's expectations, right?
Yeah,
I remember when I was working in a pizzeria before going off to join the seminary, my boss is the one who determined the work hours. It wasn't just, Nick, when do you feel like working? It was, Nick, you're coming in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or whatever it might have been. And, work started at a certain time. And so for any of us, it can be hard, and I think especially probably even more so for Americans, although I feel like the Brazilians have a little
Yeah.
bit of this as well. We don't like it
Uh-huh.
when people tell us what to do, right? And something that I've personally discovered, and it's helped me a lot, is, you know, when somebody else is telling me what to do, and they have a certain authority, right? Because it's not just anybody. Well, then I try to make it my own, right? And that I myself want to be living this aspect of discipline. And why? Because, you know, and it's something that I think that I see in you a lot. When I am kind of determining, taking control of my own life, I'm a happier person. I feel more relaxed. I feel more at peace. I know that I'm doing the most important things. None
Yeah.
of us really likes being lazy. We might like being lazy for a few minutes or you know, in short spurts of time. But if we're really just kind of doing whatever we feel like at all the time, very quickly we get tired even of ourselves, right? And we become kind of this, yeah, impossible person who's not getting anything done. And personally, I like getting things done. I like advancing in the different projects that I have going on, even if there's always a few projects I leave on the back burner and don't progress as much as I would like. But that sense of accomplishment is going to come from a personal discipline. So I think that's something that's very important. And then when we're trying to build those convictions, I'd like to go back to something that you mentioned before, where you said, you know, it's helpful when those around me are living, you know, that which I want to live, right? And for me, that's been one of the very attractive things about, you know, being a member of the Legionaries of Christ, is seeing men who really want to put Christ in first place, priests that are totally dedicated to their mission, that are, you know, giving of themselves every day and trying to bring others closer to Christ. And something that I used to mention a lot to the young men when I was working in El Salvador was, make sure that your friends are better than you are.
Wow.
Right? And,
Nice.
and where does this come from? It's because if I'm hanging around, and we can all do this, right? We have to be a little careful, and it's not about becoming very judgmental, but we can all look at the circle of friends where we are and think, and just think, okay, if you're the best guy there, you should be worried, right? Because you're probably not going in a direction where you're getting better, right? But if you can look at the people that are around you and say, oh yeah, I'd like to learn this from him, and this is something that I could really pick up, or when I see that he's doing, you know, this other thing, it really makes me want to push myself a little bit harder. And so I think that there you've really hit on a key aspect and something that's very important about understanding kind of how discipline and personal conviction and in the end happiness in life really go together, right? Because I haven't seen a lot of undisciplined people that are really that ecstatic about their lives, because it normally leads them to a dead end. You know, like a couple of the brothers have been going sledding lately.
Oh yeah.
And one of the dangerous things about sledding is that you're going where the toboggan is taking you, right? And sometimes you don't know if the end result is going to be exactly what you wanted at the beginning. I see that a lot, kind of this unexamined life or this kind of laziness where we just kind of tumble into whatever's at the end of the road.
Yeah. One comment. I think we are really blessed by God for being here, at least because I can say with all the certainty that I can muster right now that I can look up to my brothers because they are striving for the very same things that I am striving for, like holiness, greater union with God, greater discipline in life. So that's, for me, it's very motivating.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Brother Tiberio. Thank you, all of you. I hope you liked today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. And may God bless you. Take care.
Goodbye.